Paranormal in Pennsylvania may discuss topics such as suicide, murder, and other potentially upsetting things. Listener discretion is advised. Hello, and welcome to Paranormal in Pennsylvania,
where we discuss history and hauntings.
Today's story takes us to our first haunted bookstore. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Erica.
Let's get into it. This season, we're being sponsored by our friends at Haunted US. They travel the country bringing you real stories of American hauntings every Thursday at hauntedus.com. In my head, I hear Paranormal in Pennsylvania, or like this.
The ad.
Yeah.
Every single time I put those in, I'm like, I just like say them out loud as they're going. And it's not like enthusiastic, it's in a very monotone voice because it's the same one.
It's funny. Okay, so I wanted you to be on this episode with me because you like books.
Yes.
So this is Baldwin's Book Barn. It's located in Westchester, Pennsylvania. I've been there a few times and driven past it so many times. For probably 3 or 4 years of my life, I drove past it every single weekend. Oh. So it is crazy that I didn't know it's haunted. My dad actually sent me an article on it. And he was like, hey, did you know that this is, like, you were around it and it's haunted?
Right.
Crazy. Did not know.
Yes.
But very interesting. So what it is it's this massive barn full of books and other, like, rare objects. They have over 300,000 items there.
That's really cool.
Yeah. We could make a whole weekend of, like, renting a house nearby and just going and looking at it every day. And they swap stuff out a lot, too. So it's always, like, new stuff.
Right. That's so cool. I keep wanting to get, like, a first edition of something. Like, I just want to have one.
Yeah.
Not even an expensive one. But, I mean, they're all kind of expensive, but, yeah.
I used to have a first edition Edith Wharton book, and I got rid of it during one of our moves because I was like, I don't know. And now I'm like, why did I do that?
Oh my God, I do that all the time. I get rid of something and then a month later or even like 2 years later, I'm like, oh, this would have been nice. Would have been helpful.
Yeah, I'm like, that was kind of cool. So, like I said, it's used books. It's also collectibles like maps and stuff. It was originally started in a different location in 1934 by William and Lila Baldwin, hence the name Baldwin's Book Barn. It was originally in Wilmington, Delaware, and then moved to the barn in Westchester in 1946. So it's an old bookstore.
Yeah.
80 years, almost.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I wonder what caused them to move 10 years after setting up in Delaware.
That's a good point. I wonder, I don't know, because that was like the 40s. Who knows?
Yeah.
It's also not a great time to have a business.
Actually, yeah, that's a fair point.
You know, maybe that's why.
Yeah.
So the barn itself has most of the history. It was built in 1822, and it's actually a 5-story building, and it's built out of stone. I know.
5 stories? Holy crap.
Some of them are like, you know how some old buildings have like half stories almost?
Yeah.
So I think it has some of those because it's a big building, but I would not know it was 5 stories by looking at it. I would have guessed 3. It was shuttered during World War II and then purchased by the Baldwins. So actually, yeah, I had forgotten about that part. That makes sense. Maybe it just opportunity.
Right.
When the Baldwins purchased it, the old milking house was converted into a residence for the family, and the stone barn became the bookshop and a country store.
This is like my dream life.
I know. Right?
I get to convert a milking house into a home and then just run a bookstore for my life. That sounds incredible.
Right? And it's like beautiful because it used to be this homestead / farm. So it's on all this property and it's like by a river and stuff. Like It's a really picturesque place.
Yeah.
Today, you can purchase everything from used and rare books, manuscripts, maps, fine paintings, prints, estate antiques, and other valued collectibles. That is a quote from their website. And there have also been weddings here, which I didn't know you could do.
That's really cool.
There you go. You can get married there one day.
Oh my God, yes. Honestly, Zach and I at this point are just going to have like 4 weddings because we're just going to all the haunted places that we've covered that you can have a wedding at.
That's true. That's true. You could just like wear a dress and he can look nice and we'll just be like mini wedding number 1.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it is a beautiful setting, so I understand why people would want to have their wedding there.
Yeah.
Moving on to the paranormal story. And I was excited for this because it exudes good energy, and like you said, it's like peaceful.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is really someone's dream. And especially to have a family business for 80 years, that's a huge deal.
Yes, definitely.
So, the barn has actually been the site of paranormal investigations. Very cool. Carol Rauch, who is a manager that has been there for many, many years, said that she's a very large proponent of these hauntings and fully believes that it's haunted.
Which we love.
I do love. Because when people who are there day in and day out think it's haunted, it gives it so much credit in my mind.
Yes, definitely.
She has been quoted saying that the barn definitely has spirits, but she's never actually seen them herself. She said that she's seen evidence of them, but not actually seen any full-bodied apparitions.
Ah, okay. Which honestly, that makes sense, because not every spirit manifests in a full body. Like, maybe there are no full body apparitions there.
Yeah, there are, but...
Oh, great!
Because I know. Read on and you'll see. But I think it makes sense also because I feel like for full-bodied apparitions, they only show themselves to who they want.
Yeah.
So maybe they're like, oh, we don't want to scare you, or we don't want to interact with you for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So who knows? As far as formal investigations go, the Downingtown Paranormal Society investigated, and they identified 1 female spirit and 2 distinct male spirits.
Ooh.
They identified that the female spirit's name is Darlington, and it said name is Darlington, but I think that means specifically last name.
Right.
Because originally the owner of the barn was Sarah Darlington.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's really cool. When did the Baldwins purchase it again? In
46.
46? Mm-hmm. That is a really cool time for a woman to own a barn.
Well, I'm sure she was married.
Oh, that makes more sense.
Yeah. But cool nonetheless.
Yes.
But original owner of the barn, she must have been the owner in 1822.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So probably definitely married.
Yeah, definitely married. There's no way back then.
Not
but
in
still
America.
Cool that she, liked it enough that she's still there.
Yes. Hi, listeners. We're so excited to tell you about our partnership with Haunted US. Haunted US is an online publication that brings you credible articles on the history and specific paranormal claims of haunted locations across the country. We've even used them to research some of our episodes. Visit hauntedus.com for new haunted places every Thursday.
Then Rausch added, so that's the manager, in case you forgot.
I did.
Did you actually? I was saying that mostly to the listeners, but
no, it's
that's
me.
Funny. It's me. So Rausch added that Tom Baldwin, who is the current member of the Baldwin family that works there, thinks one of the spirits is his father, the original owner of the book barn.
That's really nice.
I know. How sweet. I just think it's so sweet when we have original owners or historical owners and the spirits are still there, but it's not in a territorial way or a combative way. They're just there.
Yes. And really cool that his son runs the place now, because now he gets to hang on to his father a little bit.
I know. I was thinking that how cool if there was something, specific to your dad and there were little signs around that it was your dad that's there. It must be really, really comforting.
Yes.
Especially because, he must have spent Tom, not the dad, must have spent so much time there when he was little.
Right.
It's super cool to me. I couldn't find details about the second male spirit from the investigation, but there are reports from visitors about who this might be. So visitors, specifically, not staff, which is an interesting distinction we'll talk about, see an elderly man sitting in a wooden chair reading a newspaper. But whenever the staff goes to check on this man, he's always gone.
Interesting. I'm so surprised.
Right.
Yeah.
Why? And so this started bringing into question, why don't the spirits want the staff to see them?
Right.
It's almost like they're hiding.
Yes.
Except for the Baldwin father.
Right. No, that's such an interesting question. I don't know. I can't even... Because if it were vice versa, so easily explained, they don't want to show themselves in front of strangers.
Yeah.
Like, that makes more sense to me.
Right.
So I'm, like, failing to come up with a reason.
Yeah. And I know it said that it was 2 distinct male spirits, but I do wonder if this is actually the dad.
Yeah, I was thinking that. It could be him, just kind of reading his newspaper for the day.
Relaxing.
Yeah.
But I do think it's interesting. Unless it was they don't want to spook the staff because they know that they won't spook other people because they won't be there frequent enough.
That's fair. Yeah. Yes.
But you think, I was thinking they would be more comfortable with the staff. We've seen that a lot of places. Like the Philadelphia Zoo, they were friendly with staff. The National Aviary, they were friendly with staff.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to me that they seem to be hiding from the staff.
Well, and so the visitors see this elderly man, right? And then they report it to the staff?
Yeah, I guess they just mention it in passing.
Okay. I was going to say, I wonder what makes them go tell the staff that they've seen this elderly man. I wonder if they know that they're looking at a ghost, or is this one of those cases where it looks like an elderly man, but maybe he looks sickly, and they're like, gotta go report this to the staff.
Maybe. I didn't think about that. I figured they would just say in passing, or if it was like closing time, I could see them being like, hey, did you see anybody else? And they'd be like, oh, there's a man reading a newspaper in the chair.
Yeah.
But I didn't think about that. Like, how is this being communicated? So maybe the spirit thinks they're going to be in trouble.
That's possible. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, like, oops.
Gotta go.
Reading the books and not paying for them.
Right.
Some claim that the hauntings may be actually linked to the items in the barn and not actually the barn itself.
That makes sense.
I could see that making sense if it wasn't one of the resident, like these 3, the Sarah Darlington, I'm calling him Father Baldwin, and the newspaper man. To me, they're like resident spirits. But I could see if, as items were passing through, there was additional spirits there, I would say that would be item tied, you know?
Yes. Yes. Yeah, because I guess there would be then different spirits coming in and out. You wouldn't get the same 2 or 3.
Yeah, because there's tons of historical books there. There's like maps and stuff like that, even estate antiques. So, you know, people could have strong ties to the objects that are there.
Right.
At other locations with books that we've discussed, spirits actually used the books to communicate. Like the Carnegie Library, they would pull stuff off, but they were never actually linked to the objects themselves. And I was hopeful to find something that said that they used books to communicate here, but they don't. They don't really seem interested in communicating. Oh,
yeah. I guess that makes sense if they are running from the staff.
They just want to exist in their peaceful little book barn.
Which, okay, to be fair, as someone who does love books, I do not like talking to people while I'm in bookstores. So maybe it's just that. Like, maybe they're like, I don't want to talk.
Yeah.
Maybe this is like whenever you're at the mall and you walk into a store and you can see the employee coming over, so you, like, walk the other way because you're like, I don't want to interact with anybody. Maybe it's that.
Maybe it is that. Or maybe Sarah's like, get out of my house. Yeah. And Father Baldwin's like, are you guys doing the right thing? Taking care of my business the right way? And the elderly man is like, can I please just read my newspaper in peace?
Right.
Yeah, I think so. That's funny. Have you seen the TV show Ghosts?
No.
I think, is that what it's called, David? That TV show that I wanted to watch and you were like...
Oh, I'm not sure.
It's where, so the premise is this couple inherits this haunted mansion and there are spirits there from various time points. So there's like a caveman. It's called Ghosts. And there's a British version and an American version. There's a caveman, there's like a Victorian woman, there's like a child that died of smallpox. So, and they all are friendly and talk to each other.
That's so cool.
And so I kind of like that narrative for this, where the 3 of them are like, another rough day avoiding the staff.
Right.
You know, like
Yeah.
after everyone leaves, they like show themselves and interact with each other.
Yes.
That is funny to me.
Yeah, I
Who
like
knows?
that.
And staff say that although it's haunted, they never really feel scared there. So I think that just speaks to the whole, you know, vibe of the place, and especially the energy that the spirits are putting off. They don't really want to harm anyone or cause any fear. They just want to exist there.
Yeah.
Which again, makes sense to me.
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes. Sounds like such a comforting afterlife.
Yeah. I would love to go back here, period. What about you?
Oh, yeah. Well, I would love to go for the first time.
Yeah.
This sounds like such a cool place, and I think I would even like stay overnight at this one with no fear.
I think so too. Yeah. I would. A lot of times I'm like, ooh, overnight, like sleeping, I don't know. But here they seem like they would just be like tucking me in.
Yeah.
Or being like, who is this person?
Yes. I would love to join like the group chat at the end of the day.
Yeah, like the debrief.
Yes.
And I think because the Downingtown Paranormal Society did have success interacting with the spirits here, it shows that they are open to communication.
Yes.
Just on their terms. So I think going in with the right energy for an investigation could be really beneficial.
Agreed.
I would love to do it. So if anybody at Baldwin's Book Barn is listening, hit us up. Email us. We would love to come. Because, yeah, I think it's just so interesting and just such a cool place and historic in its own right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's our first haunted bookstore. Not giving credit to the haunted libraries that we've covered. But I love this story. So
Me too.
much. Thank you for listening to this episode of Paranormal in Pennsylvania. Tune in next Thursday to see what history and hauntings we discuss next. Stay spooky, my friends.